Oh, no, yo, whoa, whoa, wait, hold on, can you hear me say anything at all? That is a question we're asking y'all. Is the words from my face entering your earscapes? Are you hearing the things that I say? Can you hear, can you see me anyway? Are you sitting back and awaiting the term, you know, for me to say, what up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm 3D, and today we want to change your perspective on Linux resources. I guess that's the best way to put it. Um, in reality, we're going to do a little bit more of a showcasing in how to get it fixed. So, a few episodes ago, I talked about issues I was having to make my own Linux Live USB that would be preloaded with the applications I need to do my work. But I'm always using but it's always usable in a brand new state. That's the ideal, right? And well, because of persistence memory and the magic of Linux, um, it should work. But going over different resources stuff, it just in the past I had an entire video where we talked about why it didn't work and some of the problems we were having, and that's a very common Linux issue for Linux 24. Um, and so because of that, I was pretty much determined to eventually figure out a fix, and we're going to showcase you the resource I specifically used for that fix. Because yes, that's right. I'm telling you, I actually got my server working finally. It's got Kubuntu 24 on it. It is working apparently correctly, and it's about to be hosting my well, the my little I'm gonna do. I don't want to do like containers, but I do want to do something like that. So maybe VPN or something of instances for web servers. All right, so um, right now as we get this situated, I do want to point out that we are live across multiple different platforms. So if you go to YouTube, go to Bitcoin Live DB/live, visit over there on YouTube, then you'll go ahead and find me right now up there, and you'll be able to comment, and a comment should pop up behind me any second now. Let's see if this works. That did not work. Hold on a second. That worked. All right. We do have it right there behind me now. Well, I don't have it showing yet. There we go. All right. Did the test. Do you see a heart? Yes, you do. All right. Got that in. Now we can go on to the next spot. That's right. I want to go ahead and thank some partnerships. There seems to be. I want to thank Deorganized and the most recent Bitcoin Live Digital Broadcasting or DB partnership. So Bitcoin Live and DB had partnered with Deorganized, and they are a powerhouse combo. So together we're going to be growing, and that's a good thing. So I hope to see more from Deorganized on social media like X, Twitter. Um, and also, I do want to thank today's sponsor and our network sponsor, Shield Folio. So if you see over there in the corner, there is a little QR with the shield, and right behind me there's a big QR. Both of them are going to lead you to the same place, which is shieldfolio.com. It's going to take you to their website, allow you to get one of these Shield Folios, which is made of stone paper. Um, so I had got one of these because I'd seen them, thought they were awesome, and I got one. I've tested out, and it's absolutely insane. Um, so I use mine for my website passwords I don't want to lose. I use it for my keys and different things like that. Also, I put down people's infos, like people who might, like my dad, or people who you know is not going to be moving anytime soon. And the awesome little book where it's tear resistant, fade resistant, water resistant. It's basically guaranteed to last a long time or good length of time. and that is the ideal goal of a little black book. So go ahead and use the code BitcoinLive20 to get 20% off today when you go ahead and grab your Shield Folio. Now let's go ahead and roll in with the roll-ins. All nice. Thank you again, Shield Folio, and the new partnership with Deorganized for helping us get today's episode going and being possible. Now, before we go ahead and go anywhere else, let's just go ahead and say it the way it is. Yes, we are indeed talking about. Oh, that's the wrong one. We are indeed talking about Linux once again. I think it was last year I said I wanted to start using Linux daily, and I still have a couple applications that have to run on Windows. But more recently, we had a video where we talked about how I got Windows 10 working on portable. So now we got the server working on Linux. That's right, boys. I've always been a Linux server person. But this time I've finally gone past Linux 16. I've always been stuck on Linux 16, and it's just been getting slower and slower for me. Mostly because of the incompatibility to like my GPU, and now that the new Linux versions have compatibility, I wanted to get us there. Now, getting Linux anywhere seems to always be a problem, and nowadays it ain't no different. But I did find a place that's going to make that problem way less difficult, and that's what we're showcasing you today. So today, um, we're gonna showcase it. But we're gonna start with the journey. All right, like I said, could not get this server up and running. I want to talk about what was the problem. So in the episode, you see above me now, with every site we go to, we're gonna pop up a QR. That QR in the top corner, right over there. It should be right over there, right? Yeah. That should take you to wherever I'm located. So you know throughout the entire episode, or if you're catching the replay, you can always follow along. So in this episode, I actually start talking about how we started this journey, why we got there, and to completely cover over different topic stuff. I do want to highlight that um, I do highlight how I earned for usable work machine at live USB. Like, I want to make it the live USB work machine type thing, right? So if you think about it though, your PC is not your work PC, but as soon as you want it to be your work PC, boom, you plug in a USB, hit reboot, hit one key to enter the boot manager to select the USB, hit enter, boom, loads into now your work PC, unaffecting your main storage using your normal PC hardware. So your great gaming machine you put a lot of money and effort into could also be one of the most productive work machines as well. That's the ideal, right? So yeah, why not just plug in a stick, load up a work machine with its own apps ready to go? Just use it, save on the USB persistent memory, and that because that's for shared memory. And then boom, next time you need it, no uploading, no updating while you're while you're on it. So you always do that differently, separately, reinstall, keep it going. No needing two devices. You just need two different memory systems. And one of these episodes we talked about using SSD memory that would normally go internal through USB over PCIe for actual faster connectivity. But some people did point out that you can actually just get extension risers for the PCIe to just do the SSDs that way. So that might be a nice little benefit bypass there. But I still like SSDs as USBs. They're really just kind of nice. They're a little bit faster. Now, I think in this one we actually pointed out that the thing that was stopping me, common issue, when you're trying to get into Linux, going upward even sometimes, and I'm sorry, it's this one that we talk about these issues. So in this video, what's stopping me is like the Linux to install on I was trying to install the Linux on a server to set it up to then save that setup as a live USB. And so that's kind of the process you go through. So in the video that we have on screen now, I actually go over the setup, like to make a live Linux USB, as well as how I made my live 10, my Windows 10 portable USB. That's not live. That's an actual full portable OS. And so I go over some of the issues I was having. And if you watch it through and through, I do briefly explain how like my server was on flash memory at the time because my hard drive wasn't working. I couldn't find it. Um, and so eventually I was trying to put it on a hard drive too, and I still couldn't. I still was having the exact same problems basically. I couldn't install it. It was like no matter what I did, it would be like the grub issue, or it'd be like it didn't have permissions or something else. And when I looked online, basically I found on I talked about it here above me. I talked about we went over and there was a bunch of people complaining about like ever since Linux 22 they couldn't get anywhere. They're all like a lot of people are getting stuck on like older machines or hard drive based storage or flash based storage where you're just kind of getting stuck where you can't do what you need to. And so now I'm going to take you exactly where I went for help. Like this is the site that solved my problems even before I was realizing that they were solving my problems. They were solving my problems. This is why we're doing today's episode. Um, Literally, this website I've mentioned briefly a couple times as proofs for information, but little did I realize how much I was actually using the site. And by the time I realized it, I got my computer, I got my server working. I am building my Linux to build out my live USB. Like it's happening. And at the same time, I'm also setting it up for being a server like it's supposed to be. Again. So here we go. Let me give you that link. itsfoss.com. Um, I will give you their X-Linux or X-Twitter account later. But for right now, let's stick with the website because I'm going to go over how I end up using this website in different ways to actually fix what should have been a simple fix, but what ended up being this really complicated problem. So let's go directly into how. Okay, so I was reading this article, um, and it basically talked about Peppermint Mini. And believe it or not, I did an entire episode where we talked about Peppermint because of Peppermint Mini. And and I wasn't really paying too much attention. I just kind of had it on my system because of this. Um, and I was already doing a video for it. And I ended up doing 2 different videos on around Peppermint OS. So I actually used this site 2 different times, and not once was it this article. But in this article, I saw specifically Peppermint Mini, and I was like, I guess I don't remember the first time, but it got me thinking. It made me look around, and it made me find eventually this article about Debian. I don't know nothing about Debian. Okay, know nothing about Debian. Let me get you this link. I am not someone who is like, all I know is I really like Debian. The more I use it, the more I like it. Let me tell it to you that way. It's Kubuntu. Because I had the same thing with Kubuntu. As soon as I started using Kubuntu, I really started liking it. Peppermint OS, it loved it as soon as I touched it. I mean, Peppermint OS looks pretty. It looks friendly, and it is. It's friendly to use. Um, but this Debian thing, it's basically, if you come down to it, it basically says, and back in 2014 when Debian switched to systemd with Debian 8, just released, and it irked several people. I am not going to detail on blah blah blah. So basically, it's like systemd versus initial. It's like 2 different based package managing processor something. So it's like a system controller, right? System manager and database controller, I think, is the technical term. Um, so a lot of people hate systemd. It's really kind of, you know, um, but they've seen here with most major Linux distributions have opted for newer systemd. Debian tries to continue the legacy system init, which has that initial init difference with systemd to back up what it was missing. And then you combine this with common systemd, and I guess you get a better output or whatever. I'm not sure. All I know is Debian is actually pretty dang good. So whatever holes was missing out of one or the other, this one seems to be finding it seems to be patching in that difference. Let me see. So now I want you all to keep in mind, like while I'm doing research for all of this, initially it was some time ago, but it was after a lot of this had already been posted, and so I got a hold of this one and like kind of a little upset I didn't actually find this one sooner. But the I couldn't actually find the original one I did find that initially talked about Peppermint fully loaded. But then when I was redoing research for this episode, because some of my notes, some of the links no longer work, I had to find something. This is one of the ones where I had to find something to make up for a link I had once that no longer is there. And it's as funny as it is, the link I had previously was not its sauce, but now it is its sauce. And so if you stay all the way through, I will actually show you partway in the middle how you can search websites without visiting them, because that's how I found this one. And well, I'm glad I did. I mean, like basically, let me explain to you. This is almost the exact same data as the last one. It just kind of explains what it is, right? And allows you to get to it. And that's the important part. It allows you to get to it. So we will actually show you how to get it later. We'll actually drop you there later. But so then I was like, well, like it still wasn't working right. I still wasn't, like Peppermint OS still didn't do what I needed it to do. It still didn't fix my problem. So I was looking up stuff and I came across this about simple ways to install. And I was like, hey, a couple of these I kind of forgot about that, there is a network install system. And, it's been a while. I'm not the brat, I forget, right? And they have videos, super helpful. And they, again, directly to where you need to go. And it's one of these I actually got, like, here's how you actually do the live USB. Yeah, nice. Um, installing everything. All right, cool. So I was like, okay, this this is the difference, right? This was a huge difference. Because when I came across this time, I was like, man, I think I actually had like 4 links to do all this, and now it's 1 link. And that's the thing I really wanted to highlight. You can actually go to one of my previous videos, and we talked about installing Linux. We talked about how to make boot USBs, how to create live USBs, and even getting Linux, Ubuntu, not specifically Ubuntu, something else. I think it was Kubuntu. And now the 4 different resources I used in that video is one single page, thanks to itsfos.com. This is the reason why it's a really great resource. They are putting the essential needs of what they know you're going to need. They're like, well, they're not going to need just one of these. They're going to need all 4 of these. Boom. It's a 4-step process here. While before it was a 4 completely different sites. Each one had like 50 different steps. So it seemed more complicated than what it really was. It's actually a 4-step process. Love it. So going on, I then found, because the site does talk about network install. And I forgot that existed, that there is such thing as offline network install. Yeah. So you download this is basically the minimal setup for an install. And then basically I downloaded the Netist stable release. But basically you doing a CD. So it thinks you're going to put this on a DVD drive, but you're actually going to put it on USB using Rufus. And I actually have an entire other video where we show you how to do all that. That's the same one I'm talking about, where I needed 4 different ones to do the showing of the stuff that you just got. The one I just showed. Go to the website, just showed you. Boom, done, roasted. All right. So, anyways, I do want to talk about this. I got notes on this one. So eventually, I found this site form of installing Linux. It is the kind of like the OG way of doing it, but it allows us to get the OG version. That's that offline network install version. So I made a bootable CD as live USB with Rufus. I just talked about that. And then installed this without an internet connection. It takes a little bit of finagling to get it to let you do it, but there is an actual way to let you do it, and it warns you like multiple times, like this is gonna really be usable. And you're like, bro, just fucking do what I tell you, man. So this allowed me to have some form of auto install. There's a section in there where it's like, I think it said, let it be the installer determiner, or let it to determine the install needed, or whatever. I clicked that bad boy, and it took some time, but it eventually found my hard drive and my flash memory. So I didn't have a whole lot of time problem finding my flash memory, but my hard drive had been missing. Like, I could see it in my BIOS, but I could not see it out of my BIOS. And this thing found it. It installed to it, and I had a barely usable Linux. I actually had to use real Linux terminals just to shut it down. Which, by the way, I ended up doing Control Delete and then turning off the computer hardlined. Um, so that was nice. Then I went back and went back to that Peppermint OS, which boop, boop, let me get that out for you guys right here. Peppermint OS. Um, and I installed the fully loaded version of Debian. Peppermint OS Debian fully loaded is what I installed. And when I installed it alongside Debian. I just shortened the amount of data Debian had. I think I allowed Debian to have like 12 gigabytes. You could go as low as like 1 or 2 gigabytes if you want to prevent it from ever having a GUI or a visual interactive OS. But for some reason, that base Debian OS made the difference between my MBR memory system that I need, or that I use, with my hardware and Linux. Like, it's just like magic. It did this magic, right? And then I put Peppermint OS, and as it's installing and stuff, it failed at the end. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I felt like I was gonna die. So I was not sure what to do. So I was looking around. Hey, is there another way I can get something else? Or da 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 da. I was just thinking. I was just thinking. What else? What else? What else? And I think I was reading this one, which, as you can see, it's a bit old. But I was reading this article, and it made me think back to Kabuto. I should go back, try that Kabuto again, you know? And at this point, I'm like, I'll try just about anything. Yeah, Kabuto, forgot how great it is, blah, blah, blah. I really liked it. Let me go back. Let me try it again. And, because I don't really like Ubuntu. I'm not a big fan of it. Um, but Kabuto I really do like. I don't know if it's the X-Face versus blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. But the fact that like Ubuntu comes with more stored stuff, it comes pre-set up with different things. It's almost like right out of the box more. And so I decided, okay, I'm gonna put this on, and I went to go put this one on, and it was Ubuntu 24 or whatever. And when I went to go install it, the Ubuntu installer noticed that Debian, or the original OS, is on there, plus Peppermint OS was on there. So I was like, whatever. I just lowered the amount Peppermint OS had to like 64 gigabytes, and then I installed Ubuntu alongside of both of them. So now we have 3 OSs on here. And now when I load in my server, it loads to whatever OS I was using last. And if it shuts down unexpectedly, or if I have to hardline shut it down because whatever reason, it would just auto boot into Debian. No problem. No more question asked. And keep in mind, there's not a whole lot you can do there. So now, as like a security feature, basically, I have this setup where if you don't actually know what you're doing, you'll just get into an ancient old Debian that has nothing there that you can't update. There's not enough room. But now I am using Peppermint OS fully loaded Devian, as we showed, um, as like my PlayOS. I've been doing a lot more fun stuff with it, testing stuff out before I put it on Kubuntu. And like I said, I'm setting it Kubuntu exactly as I need, which I'm also learning how to do headless Linux servers, simplified headless Linux servers. And what do you know? I'm using its FOSS. Like, it's the first place I looked for when I was looking up these because it's been helping me out so much. And I found this and I was like, wow, this is like exactly what I'm needing. Like, Linux, yeah, 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 exactly what I was needing. And I feel like every time I come here, not only do they have what I need, but even like stuff that a lot of people would want, that most people don't even realize is a thing. I just realized you guys can't see all the words because it's all the way to the left. Tor, Bitcoin and Lightning, the bad parts. So since Embryo is still in version 0.5, as I understand it, it takes time to limit certain features. Alright, so there's some features not completely there. An empty internal disk is a must. The first one my first one was Raspberry Pi is that the GUI would not start without an external HDD or SSD attached to it. They're telling you the things that you're going to need to know ahead of time. The writers here seem to be well endowed with knowledge on what they're doing, and that I can't push that enough unless we just go ahead and show you some more stuff. So, you know what? I found this one and I was like, XAMPP seems to be the like beauty of beauties for control and simplicity. Like there's another one I was looking at, like lamp or something like that, and I haven't had nothing. Have not gotten lamp to actually work yet. So this is my next beauty to try. I'm gonna try this one, XAMPP, because it seems fun. Um, but I'm doing this one first because if anything, this is exactly what I need to run private paper. Um, but I said, if you guys stayed, I would show you how to perform a search without actually showing up. So here I am, presearch.com, not logged in, just straight up anonymous user. I'm going to perform a search. So we're going to do Peppermint OS fully loaded. And then I'm going to type in from : and we're going to go itsfoss.com. You ready? Boom. First one that pops up is exactly what we were looking for. Now, the reason why I say anything is I'm just going to go to a random web page on itsfoss. And if we do a search, and we type that in again, can't find it. So this is my only criticism for the website, in case anybody from there actually does watch. All the words are in the slug. Peppermint, OS, fully, like, everything's there. Peppermint, loaded, fully. In the slug, it says Peppermint OS -loaded. The only thing I can guess is that it's because it's from the news side. It didn't pop up. But at the same time, you should be able to have, like, your intended thought, and then a little sections being like possible hits, or broad spectrum hits, or unordered potential hits. And that's the main difference. I was able to find it in one quick search by just not going to your website. And it's not actually on itsfos.com, it's on news.itsfos.com. And it still figured it out. Actually, one of the really fun things you can do here is like I could do something like deorganized from xtwitter.com. And it will actually pull up results from Twitter. I mean, it took a minute. I bet if we go like this and do it through like DuckDuckGo, which I still can't get. Presearch is my main one on here. It does the same thing, but it's not actually xtwitter.com. And you think about that, that's pretty good. Even though we didn't directly put it in the website, it still kind of got us there. Oh, of course, all the ads. Wow, this one did not work at all. Well, then again, it's think we're talking about something else. Let's type in, I don't know. See if that happens. No. Let's make it their handle. Yep. Oh, brought up their YouTube too, because their handle's the same. Yep. Generic statement. Yeah, because like if there's nothing there, it will actually bring up something else. It's not a greedy algorithm where well, technically, I guess it is a greedy algorithm where, so that way, even if it's not what you want, it will still pull something up because it meets the words. But the first thing it's going to look for is from that website. So like, I could be like, oh, whoa, I just saw something cool. Nice. I hate systemd. Hate it. Look at this. Ooh, they now offer a system-free Debian variant. Actually, I think this is the one that I'm technically running. x64. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know the one I'm using is a newer one. I really hope this is it. Terminal OS 11. Oh, no. Wow, no, I don't have this one. Nice. That's pretty good. Oh, anyways, just found something new, showing you guys an example. Look at that. Alright, so fully loaded. We were looking at that, right? Alright, so this was the random one I just went to show you guys that the search here, like most sites, it's not the best. Simple as that. Like, but here it's actually it's a little bit better. Like if I type in generic terms, I'm not trying to be super specific, and just be like Linux Mini. No, of course not. Let me just go to their mains page. Try that again. And let's not say Linux Mini. That doesn't make any sense. Let's go small OS. Alright. Small OSs, clone existing. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright, second, it might be pretty damn tasty to look at. Anyways, here's one I've never even heard of, but simple things do pop up, and they come up with stuff. Probably we're looking at damn small Linux. Oh, hell yeah! Man, woo wee! After 16 long years, haven't seen this one forever. Nice. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to go look at that. Just have fun with that. Alright, anyways, getting back on topic because I'm way too far off topic. Did we jump back? Yes. Yes, we did jump back. Alright. So let's go actually show you the site. This is the part we're going to be a tour guide. We're actually going to show you the site. Now we showed you how to use the site. Let's show you this site. So this is the quiz. It's quiz section. If you've ever wanted to test yourself in a process of self-education, or well, there are little quizzes and puzzles here to help you push yourself to confirm your knowledge for yourself. I really like this one right here. Know your command line interface. Very good because see, your command line's thing that most people don't know. Popular Arch Linux-based distros. I hate Arch Linux. You never see me in there. File managers. Hey, now we're talking to me. Unlocking the open sources. Nice. Like, lots of little stuff in here. Fun stuff to help you. Ooh, not memory game. Digin2. Um, anyways, fun little things for you to test yourself, push yourself, and help you learn. Because I know there's a lot of people out there, they don't know if they're really learning about Linux. Or, well, I'm not sure how much I really know because, like, I know this stuff, but nothing ever seems to work, or half the stuff seems. Come here and find out if it's real info, bro. Here, I've been coming here more and more and more. Okay, I didn't even know this was here for a while, and I'm coming here more and more and more for help, guides, straight up real resources that you're gonna need. Okay, um, maybe you got more. Nice. Anyways, so definitely got all the sources you're gonna need. Now, we can't just like leave you hanging. They actually linked us to this handbook right here, so I want to go ahead and give you guys this handbook because I mean they linked it. It seems pretty decent, and like you said, they got a bunch of other stuff in here, but also just got for free. Cool. Don't worry. They do have a community. It's Foss has its own community, as you can see. It is jumping not too terribly bad. So they got stuff going on very recent. It's all 6 hours in there, 4 hours too. Oh, that is as big as it goes. Okay. Anyways, I'm not even logged in. We can still look around. Look at it. Anyways, so that way, if you need actual help, direct help with your actual real issue or whatever, or you know a lot and you want to help out, there is a place to go. Or maybe you just need to find someone to talk to about this stuff. And they do lurk. But then again, there is also, like we said earlier, news. It's Foss News, which maybe you want to do their RSS or something like that. Go right ahead, jump in, see what they got on the daily look. Now, we can't just leave you there because it's not the only thing there. They do have a newsletter. I want to go ahead and give you guys here. I know some people like they don't want to like go to their website every day. They just want like stuff sent to them. It says, oh, if you like blah blah blah, I don't know, little snippets and stuff, and then what to actually go look at or whatever. Maybe you want to just learn about new stuff. Ooh, look, VLC tips. All right. I didn't even realize they had their newsletters just sitting here in the open. Like, we could just go look at them now. Look at that. I can go look at the old ones. Huh. They got it there on YouTube. Look at that. We're finding this live. We're finding this live. This is live. Okay. Mm-hmm. Everything Linux. Look at that. Catchy OS. Blazing fast. Nice. Ooh, IP scan. You know, I think I'm gonna binge out on this tonight. Hell yeah. Well, apparently they got a YouTube too. Anyways, you can also contact them if you have any suggestions, information, blah 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 blah, or blah blah. They got little things here. Um, if you think anything here was neat or awesome, you can also just hit them up over here on X Twitter and say, "Yo, site's awesome." See if I can say something directly to them. Kind of like that. Alright, so today I wanted to put the nail in the coffin for finishing up my server. Um, I wanted to talk about the process. I wanted to, get that stuff set up and ready for the next step, which is actually running private paper on an actual server instead of running like a serverless AWS function or, vis-a-vis short links. But also, I want to showcase the site I kept returning to over and over to get this job done. To get to where I am now, I couldn't have gotten there without its FOSS. Really, it helped me more ways than one. And even doing research for this video, it continued to help me out. Like, I had constantly was hitting the, like, oh, I need to save this for later. I need to save that for later. Um, and there's so much there. It just seems to be good information. And that's one of the things that's hard to come across nowadays. So, this is, if anything, a first light source of data. Because there's a lot of stuff here where they're just talking about it, and then that makes you go, well, let me go try it, or let me go learn more about that. And that's a lot of times, that is some of the best things you can get a hold of. Because, think about that. They're going to briefly describe something that is going to intrigue you, or maybe it sounds like the solution. Then you go find out about it. And either it is or isn't. It doesn't really matter, but it's like it is a great place to start when you're researching stuff. Let's just say it like that, especially if it's going to be free and open source Linux. You already know there's one place for you to go. And even on their Twitter, they do say they are a Linux and open source web portal. Because the open source part really is the whole important part of it, not just the fact that they're Linux involved. Um, but Linux is the first FOSS-centric thing that we can really think of, most people think about, and there's a good reason why. But I really hope you guys see Linux no longer as this terrible battle that you're doing on your own. You got a friend, and it's called It's FOSS. You just got to go to foss.com, and boom, friends are there.